Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Corinne and you have found CoryCreates. I am a maker and a creative. This is where I share my creative life. Today is Monday, January 16th, 2023. Happy New Year, you all. This is my first video of the new year, so I am so glad to be back with you. Today is Dr. Martin Luther King Day, and I always have to take advantage of the days that I have off, but I am particularly glad I have today off to be available to honor him. Dr. King is one of the people that we can truly say was of service to his community and to his nation. And he devoted his life to making our world a better place. And whether you spent today in service to others, in reflection, or just relaxing, I'm so glad you took a little time out to come spend it with me. This is Flosstube number 10. I'm in double digits, y'all. Number 10. So today, what I wanted to talk to you about is I do have a WIP parade. I'm kind of calling this my unintentional WIP parade. I wasn't planning on doing a WIP parade, but I think since I participated in the 12 by 12 on New Year's Eve, that I do have some more than I had before to share in a WIP parade. I don't remember how many WIPs I had in my original video when I first started taping back in May, but I'll put that number on the screen if I remember. But I probably don't have too many more. And I did get quite a few finishes last year. So I'll kind of talk a little bit about that. And then I'll talk about my plans for 2023. Super excited. I do have one finish to share, and I also have a little bit of investment that I'll get into as well. So thank you so much for all of you that have subscribed. If you have not subscribed, I invite you to do so you can continue on this journey with me in 2023. Real quick, what have I been up to? Not a whole lot. Went back to school. School started back a couple weeks ago. It was a little stressful. One of our coworkers, she's out ill, had to be hospitalized briefly and everything. So we've just been praying for her. And I think she's going to come back this week. So she's in a good space now. So we're real glad about that. But of course, being the kind of department that we have, she wasn't able to come back for her first days of our semester. And in the FACS department, I teach family consumer sciences. All of our classes are semester classes. So had to get a sub that would be able to kind of get her classes started for her and everything. And then just trying to, make sure everything runs smoothly with the new semester, learning new names of the kids, all that kind of stuff. So that's really it. Just getting back into the groove of being in school. I would gladly take a snow day at any point. Okay. My daughter's getting ready to start travel volleyball. So I'll be going out of town with her next month. I know for sure I'm going to Kansas City. So I'm hoping to make a stop at stores in Kansas City, cross stitch, and get a little bit of shopping done. And next month we are actually getting a local needlework shop here in St. Louis. We have not had one here in quite some time. I think the needlework shop that I used to work at, the last time I visited there was in 2013. So it's been a while, and we used to have a lot of them here in St. Louis. But Color and Cotton is opening a brick and mortar, and actually it's going to be maybe a mile from me, right down the road where we live in this apartment. So I'm excited about finally getting my hand on some Color and Cotton fabrics. I've been trying to get into their fabric of the month, but now that they're going to be right down the street, I'm hoping I'll be able to capitalize on that and actually get some of their fabrics. So let's jump into some stitching. I'm going to start off with my finish. Okay, I have a finish It is Cozy Christmas Wishes by Lizzie Kate. I will put in a picture of where I was the last time, but I did finish it. And if you remember, I talked about my changes. Okay, I had originally, this was supposed to be oatmeal, I believe. And I ended up changing it to Weeks Angel Hair. And I went and picked that up. I'm very pleased with how it turns out. I'm glad I made that small change. Also, these two words, cozy and wishes, were supposed to be another shade of green, not even this shade of green, but I didn't like it. So I decided to change it up and not have everything be green. And I changed it to Merlot by Weeks Dye Works. So this is my first finish of 2023. I'm going to make it into an ornament, and that's going to be a part of one of the stitch alongs that I'm going to participate in 2023, but I'll talk about that closer to the end. So again, that is Lizzie Kate, Cozy Christmas Wishes. It is a freebie that I found online, and if you just Google that, you should be able to find it with absolutely no problem. Okay, so that's my one finish, and I'm working on some fully finished items. Actually, that's one of my goals this year, is to get more things fully finished. So I didn't get them quite complete in time for this video, but they definitely will be complete for the next video. Okay, next thing I want to share are my investments. So I made a few purchases, the first one being Gingerbread Smalls by Twin Peaks Primitives. And I bought that on Etsy, and I'll put a picture of that right here so you can kind of see what it looks like. But I love gingerbread, says Christmas to me. So when I saw these, I believe I was watching Pam and Steph Just Keep Stitching, and she was a special that they were running. They said there was a special on this particular pattern on her Etsy shop. So I went to her Etsy shop, and actually I watched the video a week or so after, a few days after they said the promotion might be over, but I went to her Etsy shop and it was still on sale. So I was able to get this on sale. Super excited. I love gingerbread houses, and these are definitely going to be more ornaments for my stitch along that I'm going to be participating in. The next thing I did, this isn't exactly haul. Well, it's haul because I bought what I needed to make it, but I made a needle minder, and this is my Princess Tiana needle minder. Let me see if I can get it good. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Let me see if I got anything I can put it on. Let me try this. But I love that she's outlined in gold. But that is my Princess Tiana needle minder. She was actually a button from Joann's. And my husband took it to work and sanded the little piece on the back off. And then I put a neodyne magnet on the back. And then these little bitty small magnets are hard to pull apart when they're the same. So I always when I make my needle minders, I always put a big magnet as the one that goes on the back of it. That way it can be easily taken apart. So that's my little needle minder that I made. And the last bit of haul, well, actually two things. I got my Bestitch Me fabric of the month, and clearly I am in the fabric of the month that bounces back and forth between neutral and color, which I'm so glad I did. But this was my first fabric of the month club, and this is Evergreen. It's reading a little bit bluer than it is, but this is definitely out of my comfort zone. Okay, I think almost everything you all have seen that I stitched on is something completely neutral. So I'm excited to get some color in my life. That was one of my goals last year, is just to stitch on different fabrics. But again, this is Bestitch Me Evergreen, and I'm getting the 32 count Lugana in my club with them. And I just found out I got into the Atomic Ranch Fabric of the Month Club. It is, I don't remember the name of the shop that it's out of, but it's in New England. I'll put it on the screen. And I just got a notification that they had an opening in that club, the 28 count Lugana club. So I'm going to start getting those this month. I've already paid for January and February, so I'm excited to be adding some more colors to my collection. And I think I signed up for colors with that one as well. So the last thing is some haul that I've gotten from thrift shops. Ladies and gentlemen, don't sleep on thrift shops, okay? I am not what you would call a huge thrifter, but when there's certain things that I'm looking for, or if I just have time and I just want to run in, I'll kind of look around, and I always go to the craft section. So let me show you what I've gotten over the last month or so. Now, they put them in these bags, and they make it hard for you to get in them, but I'm just trying to keep everything together. But these are bias tapes. I know you've seen these in the store. Matter of fact, this one has a Hobby Lobby tag on it for $2.19. But, you know, these are usually a couple dollars a piece. Sometimes even at Joann's, they're even more. And that's why I always wait to use a coupon on them. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 11 of these, brand new, never been opened. And this is what you would need to make those floss pockets, okay? Or just to bind a project bag. You can use them for that. And I paid $7.99 for 11 of them that are brand spank new. Okay, they're not even old. They're just brand new and unopened. So that was a very good find for me because I use those all the time for various projects. And then the last one I got was just this past week. My daughter has volleyball practice, and I always stop by the Savers thrift store, which is right by where she practices. So I was running there real quick. This bag that I got, oh, I don't see where I put the tag, but it was $3.99 for this bag. And in this bag was a hoop, okay, a nice sturdy plastic hoop. One John & James tapestry needle, looks like a 22, it's pretty big. This project chart, I'm probably not going to do this, so look for this in a future giveaway. And then I got flosses. So these all came in this bag. I'm not going to open them, but you can see lots of flosses. And some of them are unused. So I would say out of all these bags, I went through them all, 40 skeins of unused floss. So that was definitely a good deal. So $3.99 for everything that was in that bag. So again, don't sleep on thrift stores. They don't always have something, but if there's one that you like and you check back often, I usually go once a week and, 15 minutes tops in and out. So anytime you're by one, just run in and see what they have and how their craft department is laid out. One thing I don't like is they usually group everything together in one bag. Like all of those were in one bag, but at least they tried to make them all one item. You know what I'm saying? All one theme, I guess. Sometimes that's not good. Like for instance, with sewing patterns, sometimes they have two patterns together that I'm like, I don't want that pattern. So I usually don't end up buying a lot of patterns at this particular store. I usually only buy patterns if they're individually packaged or just separate. But again, thrift stores are great. So next I'm going to start off with my WIPs. All right, I've kind of broken my WIP parade up into two parts. The first part is going to be the WIPs that I did not stitch on during the New Year's Eve 12 by 12. How I did my New Year's Eve 12 by 12 this year was I did 6 new starts and I worked on 6 WIPs. And then I have these small handful of WIPs that I plan on taking into 2023 that I did not stitch on during 12 by 12, because I'm just going to kind of recap my evening of New Year's Eve with 12 by 12 for you all. And I'm going to show all of those projects together. So I'm just going to get started real quick with the ones that I did not stitch on that night. This first one I have stitched on within the last week or so, but I did not stitch on it on New Year's Eve. And that is Thankful by Colorado Cross Stitcher. I will put in, I'm going to scoot this over so I can put in a side-by-side comparison of where I was the last time. But as you can see, I keep saying I'm going to let it go, and I haven't yet, okay? For this one, I just worked on this part right here and a little bit of the quilt border that I'm still working on. But it's going well. I'm enjoying it still. And next time, I'm going to do my best to make this a finish. But again, this is a freebie from Colorado Cross Stitcher, and it is Thankful. You all, there's a lot of stitches in this little piece. I thought, oh, this is going to be quick. There's a lot of stitches, okay? But luckily, it's solid blocks on the actual turkey, and then I do a lot of changing of colors on the bottom with the quilts, but I like the design. So I'm looking forward to having that complete and making a little pillow for Thanksgiving. I already have the backing and everything figured out for that. Okay. The next one I'm going to talk about is a precious moment, and that is the quilter. Now, you all, a week ago, I had decided, you know what, I'm gonna UFO this unfinished object, put it away. I'm not gonna even think about completing it in 2023. And it was in my craft bin in my bedroom, and I was like, I'm gonna take it over to storage, put it in my cross stitch box, and not even worry about it for 2023. And then I looked at it. You all, it's ridiculously close. I if you haven't figured this out, I talk to myself. My husband will attest to that. He'll see me and I'll be in the kitchen and I'll be just going, and he's like, who are you talking to? I've heard that creatives do that. So that's what I'm going to chalk it up to. That's my creativity, and I'm having a conversation with myself. But I saw this and I said, Corinne, you are not going to put this in storage. Finish it. Okay. It's ridiculous. I have not touched this since I showed it in my very first video, but I did frog her face because I mentioned at that time I wanted to do a skin tone conversion on it. She doesn't have a lot of skin that's showing, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change her skin tone and finish the back stitching, you all. That's all I have to do. It's ridiculous. I don't know why I take so long, okay? But look at that. All I have to do is do the back stitching on the quilt, restitch her face, her hand, and I'll have to look at the chart. I don't remember what this is. I guess it might just be part of the quilt folded up. But come on, y'all. I need a little push. I just need to get this done. It's kind of ridiculous at this point. I mean, I've even done all the hard back stitching on her body. I just have to do this over here. So that's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to get some of these things off my plate. Okay. And this came from this book. It is Occupations. And the name of the chart again is The Quilter. So this one is definitely getting off my list, you all. It's just ridiculous at this point that it's still on here. So I'm going to get that one and finish it. And I may put it on a project bag. I'm going to put the other one I had, I think it was Serve the Lord with Gladness or something like that. And I just cut it up recently because I'm going to put it on a project bag. And I think I'm going to end up doing the same for this one. So that's the quilter. The next one I have for you, this one, you all, ooh, I don't know about this one either. I need to go on and finish it in 2023. I thought I would have by now. Let me set these next two up so I don't have to stop again. But this next one is, I believe it's The Time for Tea. It was a stitch along by Lakeside Needlecrafts on Facebook. I will insert a picture here of where it was the last time you saw it. I have worked on this year. I actually took it with me to Jamaica so I could work on it when I was in an enclosed space or didn't have a lot of light. But here it is. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm tired of this project. I like it, but I'm tired of it at the same time. Okay. I'm just trying to get the main motifs done and then go back and backstitch. It's cute. I'm just not really excited about it, I guess. So, time for tea, stitch along. And I apologize, I did not iron any of these, but I'm gonna get this one, at least work on it and make progress on it. It just doesn't excite me, and it's a little smaller than I probably should have made it. I'm definitely gonna do it probably in a flat fold when it's done. So that is the time for tea, stitch along with Lakeside Needlecrafts on Facebook, okay? This last one, this is another one, you all that's left is the back stitching. And I know it's gonna go so fast once I sit down and do it. And that is one of my blocks on my WIPGO board, is backstitch only. So whenever that one gets called, I'm definitely working on this one. But this one is Sweetheart. It is by Teresa Wensler. And this is what the chart looks like. This is my second one of these that I did or am doing. I've got a third in the works right now, which I'll show you in just a minute. But I really like this one, and I figured February would be a good time to get it out since it's called Sweetheart. But I'm definitely gonna work on it. And this is where I am. I think I only have a few stitches at the bottom here that need to be filled in, and then the rest is just backstitch, y'all. Backstitching is truly my nemesis. But I have not touched this since I showed it in my initial WIP parade, but it's gonna get some love and some finishing this year, okay? So that is all of my WIPs that I did not do 12 by 12. So on New Year's Eve, I know I had talked about starting early. I ended up not starting early. We ended up going to breakfast instead of dinner. So the family and I, we all went to Uncle Bill's. For those of you from the St. Louis area, you know where that is, Pancake House. It's literally right up the street from where we live now. So we went there. My husband and I had not been there since early when we got married. I think I took him there for his birthday one year. So that was nice. The decor has not changed in 20 years or so, but the food is still good. So we had a good time. Came home, by then it was probably around 11, so I started getting everything out, and I informed everyone that I was going to be stitching all day, and they let me. I did pause for a little bit to help with dinner. We just did a few appetizers for dinner that night, but other than that, I did stitch. I learned some things about myself. I'm very glad I only did 6 new starts. That was out of my comfort zone. I would have much preferred to just work on WIPs, but I didn't. And you all, I see a glare somewhere over here. Hopefully that doesn't bother you too much. I have pieces of batting up on my window trying to get the afternoon sun to act right, but I think I'm gonna have a little spot there, so hopefully that won't bother you all too much. So let's get started. I'm gonna do these in the order that I did them that night. And I kind of tried to do them in a particular order. Like for instance, first one is Gingerbread Cookies by Stitching with the Housewives, and it's on black. So needless to say, I was trying to do that one early in the day. Just a little bit of progress. You will notice that my G, well, you might not be able to see it, but my G is different. It's a little darker. It's more off-white. This is a true white. This is B5200 in Pearl Cotton, number 12, the one that comes in the roll. And this is Bamboo by Classic Colorworks, I think. I think I like the white better. So later on, I'm going to frog this one and finish it just like those. But I know I only had the G done before. And so in that hour's time, I added a few more letters, which was what I wanted to get accomplished. I'm not quite enjoying this one as much as I hoped I would. But I'm going to press on because I really like the picture. So that is Gingerbread Cookies by Stitching with the Housewives, and that was a WIP. That was one I had already started. Number 2 that I worked on is a new start. And this new start will be my work project when Thankful is finished. Thankful has been going to work with me, and I work on it. I'm still fooling with this light now. Let me scoot over a little bit. Let's see if that helps. Yes, that helps a little bit. But this next one is small enough that I think it can be my work stitching, and that is Sweater Weather by October House. I love this one. I've had this one in my stash for about a year, the pattern, and I finally got my, this is a 28 count mushroom Lagana, and that was my little start. And like most people that participated in this, I don't think anybody truly worked for an hour. I think I probably got maybe 45 minutes on each one because I needed a few minutes to put everything away, take the next one out, get some tea, get a snack, go to the bathroom, you know, all that stuff. So this is probably more like 45 minutes rather than an hour. But I really enjoyed it. It was a pretty easy way to go. So I'm going to start taking that one to work as soon as Thankful is done. So again, that is Sweater Weather by October House. And here are all my flosses for that one. The next one, number 3, is, and I'm looking at my list, y'all, Annie's Market. Love this one still. I keep saying I'm going to put it away, and I haven't yet, so it's just going in the rotation. I'll put up here where I was the last time you saw this in December, and here's where I am now. I mentioned before, this is the corner of the picture, so this is done, and now I'm making my way this way. So I did mostly just some stuff in this area. Now, one thing that I'm noticing, this is from a magazine, Just Cross Stitch, 2004, October. In here, there's a symbol. It is a black diamond. That is the symbol that is on the chart. There's no color in the symbol listing. There's no symbol there, and the color is not there. So luckily, it's just a small area. I believe it's a little area right here that has, it looks like it's kind of a brick red because now the bricks and everything are going to get started, but it's like a little brick red right here. I'm just going to pick something and fill it in because it is nowhere to be found on here. And here's my working copy. But down here, there should be a black diamond. Let me see if I can find it on the chart real quick and just show you right there. Those black diamonds. Well, they're not anywhere down here. There's a black square. There's a triangle. And at first I was like, well, maybe that's it. And I went and got the color and I looked at the finished picture. That's not the color. So some kind of way they left that color off the chart. So I'm just going to pick something and fill it in. Like I said, it's only a couple of spots where it falls. So I'm just going to make it work. I thought about maybe contacting the magazine. That's still, I still might do that. I don't know. But it'll be okay no matter what I decide to do. Okay. Up next, what is that? Number 3. This is number 4. Number 4 is Bengal Tiger, and I will put in a picture of what that looks like completed. I did find a picture online of what the completed project looks like. And here is my start. This is done on a 28 count Lugana in, I believe, wheat. I bought a big piece of this from 123 Stitch. So there's my start. Very easy to read paper chart. It's just a real basic start, but I enjoyed it. I didn't have any problems reading the chart. I thought it went well. I think it's going to look really good because there's a lot of browns. I think it's going to look really good on this background. I see the Virginia Stitcher, she does a lot on wheat, and I always look at her projects and I'm always thinking I love that color. So I decided to get some, and I'm very pleased with it. And I actually had enough left over for another project. I cut it in half and half of it fit perfectly. And what I do to mark the top of my patterns, I'll either put a pin, or in this case, I put a little staple in the top where I serged it. That way I don't get confused and I always know where the top of the project is. So that is the Bengal Tiger, and it is from, actually I don't know where it's from. Somebody sent me the pattern years and years and years ago, and I'm just now getting around to doing it. Okay. The next one is the Flower Peddler. And I'm just stacking these up next to me. This is a Mystic Stitch, and unfortunately Mystic Stitch is gone out of business from what I understand. But this is the Flower Peddler. I probably started this sometime in mid 2000s, like 2006, 2007, something along those lines. I do remember my daughter was a baby. And I am, I believe, on this side. I started in the top left hand corner, and this is full coverage. I'm working on this on 18 count white Aida. And you probably won't be able to see it as well on camera, but this fabric is so dirty. I don't know what I was doing. But for 12 by 12, I was over here. I kind of got that little area done. And I think I filled in a little bit of this right here. So again, this is the Flower Peddler. I am on page 2. I have put this on my WIPGO board for this year. And I'm definitely wanting a page finish, if nothing else, on this one. But I enjoyed getting back to this one. I just love full coverage, you all. But I don't start that many of them because I'll never finish any. I keep telling you, I'm a monogamous stitcher all the way. So starting this many at one time, having this many WIPs, this is new territory for me. But I think the amount that I have is going to be manageable. And that's the main thing for me. I don't want to be overwhelmed. I'm hearing a lot of people this year, they want to get back to getting some of their things done. I know I've seen some WIP parades where some people got like 50 plus WIPs. And that will never be me. I have to do some things. And to me, I'd never finish anything. I would make progress to where I would be pleased with it. So definitely some people do great with all those WIPs. And I know that fuels them. It doesn't fuel me. I get fueled by the progress and seeing what I'm doing and getting to the finish line. That's what pushes me. So that's what I like to do. I think I'm out of order. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go. Number 7. This was number 7 that I worked on that night. And this is my other Teresa Winsler. This is Chestnut. And this was my Christmas start on Christmas Day. So Chestnut, and actually I'm here in the middle, working on the middle of the horse. I'm almost done with the saddle in this area. I know I've done that little lavender area right there on the back, and I'm pressing forward. I'm not going to take it out the Q-snap so you can see where I am. I love it, you all. I'm really enjoying it. Now, Miss Winsler was the queen of these half stitches, you all. These half and these quarter stitches. She's about to drive me nuts. But I already know it's going to pay off in the end when I get that back stitching in. But I'm really enjoying it. And I'll make sure I also put it up side by side of where I was the last time you saw this. This is my, this and Gingerbread Cookies will be worked on this month as part of my WIPGO call. And I'll share my WIPGO board with you all at the end. But this is part of my WIPGO call for this month because I had a large Christmas piece as my WIPGO call. And I don't know if I showed you all this project bag. It was actually supposed to go up in my Etsy shop. But I don't know if you can tell, but I put the zipper in wrong. I put it going in. It should unzip left to right, and this one unzips right to left. So I said, I'll just keep it. I have some more of this fabric, so I will put another one in my Etsy shop. But it's more of a winter scene, which I like for now, this time of year. So that is Chestnut by Teresa Winsler, sorry. Okay, this one was funny. This was probably my smallest start. And part of the reason is the way the chart is set up. But this is, let me make sure I got it situated on my board right. Yep. This is Delicate Beauties by Paula Vaughn. I mentioned in my last video, I wanted to start another Paula Vaughn. And I actually have 2 copies of this chart. So I said, yeah, this one's definitely a contender because it's very clear I wanted to do this picture considering I accidentally bought the chart twice. But this was my smallest start, and you all, it was so funny. This was the number 6. So that means it was by this time 6 or 7 p.m. when I finally got to this one. Now, we were doing dinner at this time, so I got interrupted quite a few times, and this chart is quite difficult to follow. I did a center start on this, so I'm at somewhere in here for the center start, but I'll just show you how the chart is put together. It folds. So it goes like this, and then it goes like this. Not easy to maneuver at all. And it's in color, which is nice, but it's just very awkward. So, and I did not make a working copy before I started. That was my fault. And I totally forgot it unfolded like that. But, you know, it was 6 or 7 o'clock, and I'm sitting right across from where I'm sitting now on the couch. And my husband was sitting over here where I'm sitting, and he was watching TV. And he walks by me to go to the kitchen as I'm stitching on that. And he looks over my shoulder, and he knows I've been sitting here now for 6 hours. And he said, "That's all you've gotten done in 6 hours?" He thought this was all I had accomplished all that time I was sitting there. And I said, "No, babe, I'm switching projects every hour. And this is something I knew I'm starting. So this is just for this hour." And he was like, "Oh," because I was going to say, "Babe, you need to get you a new hobby." So it was just hilarious. He thought I had been working on that the whole time, and that's all I had accomplished in 6 hours. I said, "No, babe, it's kind of a challenge to kind of kick off the new year. I'm just I'm dabbling in a lot of things tonight." He was like, "Oh, okay." And he kind of walked away. But I just thought that was hilarious that he thought that's all I had gotten accomplished in 6 hours. So that's Delicate Beauties. I am working on, I downloaded Markup XP. I have not had a chance to upload anything into it, but this one is definitely a contender to try and upload that chart into there so I can actually work on it a little better. Okay. This next one is another new start. And it was between this one and The Bakery by Little House Needleworks or Country Cottage Needleworks. I can't remember which. And I decided to go with this one. And this is another one of my Diva bags. But this is, until I can get another Christmas one made. This is Sugar Cookies by Cricut Collection. And I'm excited about this one. I mentioned that I'm going to try and change the word sugar, maybe to red, because it's really hard to see. Somebody in the comments last video mentioned maybe just outlining the letters. So I'm going to consider that as well. So Sugar Cookies. And here's my very modest start. I did a center start on this one as well. And this is the curve, I believe, in the top of the K. Okay, so I think I'm right in here, actually, in the middle of the K. Somewhere in there is where I started. So, very modest start. I don't remember what this fabric is called. I could not find the tag. I think the tag fell off, and it might have gotten pitched on accident, but I do know it's a 32 count. And I got it at Needlework Galleria from, I believe, the Inspired Needle. But it's kind of a mottled blue. It's got a little bit of green and yellow dispersed in there. Vintage Baker is up next. This is a Heaven and Earth design by Amy Stewart. Just a regular chart. I love it. 301,600 stitches. And here is where I am. I'm making good progress. Hold on. Making good progress. So there's where I am. So I'm working primarily in this area. A lot of beige, 950, 951. And then you see some little sprinkles of color throughout. But that's mainly what I'm working on. Hopefully I got it in there where y'all can see. Get a little closer. But I love it. It's still going well. Still going strong. Let me tell you my stats for this right now. This is done on 25 count antique white Lugana. My total stitches for December was 995. I don't know why I didn't check what my total was. I'd have gone and done it 5 more stitches to make it an even 1,000. But so far in January, I'm at 1,556. So I'm doing much better. I still have a goal of 5,000 stitches a month, but I think that may be a little lofty for me during the school year. When I first started stitching on this, it was summer. So it was easy for me to get 5,000 stitches in. But I'm still going to leave that as the goal and just see how I do with this. And this I'm using as my 25/7 piece, which is the Facebook page where you stitch for either 25 minutes, I think, or 25 stitches every day. So do something on it every day. So this is my piece for that, because it is also my piece for my Heaven and Earth Design Challenge, which I'll talk about at the end. So my grand total of stitches so far is 26,342, and that is a whopping 8.73%. So my 10% is eluding me, but I'm going to keep pressing. So love it. Vintage Baker. And the next one is another one that has been on my to-do list for literally years. I got this pattern in Atlanta, and I want to make sure I say what the name of the pattern is, because somebody asked me about it in the comments, and then I realized I had not mentioned it. But the designer is David McGurkin for 13th Colony, and it is called Welcome. And I've been calling it Welcome Pineapple because, as you all know, if you didn't know, pineapple is the symbol of hospitality. And I want this to go in the foyer of our house. I'm obviously going to change this to our last name, but this is done in pearl cotton, and it is done in half stitches. So that is why I waited till later on in the evening to work on this one, because I knew it would be a little easier and would go a little faster. And I am doing this, I believe it is a, I believe it's a 28 count. And I do 2 over 2 when I do 28 count. The only one that I'm not doing 2 over 2 is Vintage Baker. That is 1 over 1, 25 count. So this is where I got to. Not bad. Little start. I'm starting in the middle. Okay, this was the center start. So I'm like right above where the pineapple is. So I'm right in the middle in that little curlicue. And these are all half stitches, which I am enjoying immensely, because this is a linen, 28 count linen. It is not an even weave. So it has those slubs and things occasionally, but I'm not irritated by it. I think I'm going to be able to progress with this one. So I want to make this a 25/7 start once I'm done with that Heaven and Earth Design Challenge, and I think I can breeze through this pretty quickly. So again, that is Welcome by 13th Colony. And I know I've had this chart 20 years. I remember my husband went on a business trip. I went with him, and while he was in his meetings, I was scouring the Atlanta area for quilt and cross stitch shops, and that was one of my finds. And I'm excited to finally get to it. Only took me 20 years. Oh, and that pineapple is full of beads, and these are the beads for it. All right, we're getting down to the wire. Last 2. This was number 11, I believe, that I worked on, and it is Spiritdancer. This is a big one, but this is by Marilyn Levitt Emblem. Butternut Road, part of Told in the Garden. A couple people, I've seen a couple of these on Flosstube lately, but I'm enjoying working on her despite hating the fabric. I despise this fabric, you all. Let me put it on my board for you and kind of give you an idea of where I got to. I mean, this is just, you can see through it. The slubs in it are huge. And when I say slubs, you all, I'm talking about those inconsistent threads. They are everywhere. Some of them are bigger than others. This fabric annoys me. Okay, it's 28 count prairie grain linen. It is the called for. And for 12 by 12 that evening, I was up here in the bird. Matter of fact, I'll put in here real quick where I was so you can see where I left off. I have not touched this since I showed it in my initial WIP parade, but now I got a little bit further on the bird, and here's where she is overall. And I guesstimated last time I showed this that I was about halfway. So, the majority of all this white is done. So now I just have the background and to finish her body and her dress and the chair. But everything over here is complete. And there's some fringe that needs to go on her dress down here. So I'm gonna get that done. So maybe after I finish the bird, I may drop down here and just finish off this area and then go from there. But she's coming along. But I can't tell you enough. I can't stand this fabric. And I think it's because, and I really got to see during this time why, I use a 26 count petite needle. That is what I use on everything. I'll put it through the hole, and then I'll come around with my other hand to pull it out, and it slides right back out. If I let it go before my other hand gets there, it falls out. It just, the fabric fibers do not hold the needle at all until I can get there. So I have to hold it and then do it. Hold it, then do it. Whew, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. if I was not this far along, I would definitely do it on a different fabric. I admire those of you that can restart a project once you've gotten so far on it. I'm not the one. I can't do it. I have to press on with the way that it is. Now, will it take me a while because I'm not enjoying the fabric? Probably. But I could tell from this time I can do this. I just need to do it a little bit at a time. I'm thinking maybe I'm thinking about doing like a 2-strand a day project. This might be it. That way I don't spend a lot of time with it, but I'm still making progress. So that is Spiritdancer by Butternut Road. I think you can still get this project with no problem. So that was number 11. Number 12, my last one, and I'm very excited about this one. I have not been able to let Christmas go, you all. I've never been a big Christmas stitcher. I, up until this time, only had a few projects for Christmas picked out, but I love Christmas. I'm just doing everything. And I also love houses. So I am working on Little House Needleworks, the Needlework shop. Super excited to get these done. I have decided I'm going to do them individually. I've seen some other people that were doing them as one piece, and after a while they were just like, So I'm going to take a heed from them and do them individually and just kind of scatter them around the living area in our home. So let me take this needle out real quick and show you where I am. This was the last project I worked on, and I probably worked a little longer on this one since it was the last one, because I don't think I ended up going to bed till close to 1, which is epic for me because normally I don't stay up on New Year's Eve. But this is done on a 32 count Lugana in the color Platinum that I got off of Etsy. I'll put the name of this shop. Actually, it's Stitch Happy Art was the shop. But I have this, and I've also picked out some 32 count Lugana in taupe that I got from 123 Stitch that I'm gonna do some of them on as well. They're very close in color. So there is my start. Sorry about the light. I'm losing my daylight now that the sun has moved on. But that is my start on the Needlework shop. Okay, I think I'm in right here in the awning part right there. So it's basically a center start is what I did. So that is the Needlework shop. So that is my WIP parade. I will be back with plans, a little bit of quilting, and finally giveaways. I have my 3 giveaway winners to share with you at the end. All right, you all, I have a little bit to share about quilting. I have a little stitchy kindness as well related to that, but I wanted to show you something. I have been in some swaps in 2022, and they were birthday swaps, and I did them through a couple of Facebook pages, and as a result, these are the blocks I got from those swaps. So I would highly recommend do Facebook search on different things that you like to do. These were both quilting boards that I was on Facebook. And this one was just a birthday swap for 5-inch charms. You were supposed to get 6 of them. And this is what I got, all variety of charms. So I was really excited to get those. And then the other swap I was a part of, and I have already signed up for 2023 for this one. And this one was a swap for African prints. And I have previously shown other projects that I'm working on with African prints, but this one was for a 6-inch block swap. So here are the blocks that I got. I'm so excited about planning what I'm going to do with these. But I can't remember how many I have. I'll put it on the screen. I did count them, but I've lost track. But I should have gotten, maybe close to 200. I don't know. But I will put it down below how many I actually ended up with. And same for these, but I was supposed to get 5 each of these 6-inch blocks. So with these and combine them with all the African prints that I already have, I'm so looking forward to doing this. I don't know what I'm going to pick. I have been scouring Pinterest looking for a pattern, but I'm very excited. So for now, there's going to be in this project bag. And one of the ladies, her name is Valerie Buckingham, that I was in the swap with, she sent me this cute little birthday card back in November. And then she also sent me a quilt pattern. It's called Crossing the Divide. And it's just one sheet. The finished size is 59 by 83, and it's by, looks like Dragonfly fiber art. But thank you, Valerie. I'm definitely gonna do it. I like the pattern, and it's very doable. So thank you. She sent that in addition to her squares that she sent me. The last quilting thing, I don't know if you all follow me on Instagram. I posted these on Instagram. These are those Ankara half square triangles that I showed in a previous video. Well, I've been debating on what pattern I wanted to use them for, and I came up with this layout. I saw it on Pinterest, and I was like, I have 2 of each of the prints, 2 squares with each of the prints in it. So I'll just put them together and kind of do this diamond shape. So I show my layout. I show a few of them on Instagram. So I will be putting this one together later this month. So I'm excited about finally getting that one done. I hope it will be a throw that I will have out here on the couch. Plans. What am I doing in 2023? Quite a few things. First off, I'm going to share my WIPGO. I also am going to have a WIP wheel and a new start wheel. Okay, I'll put pictures of those in so you can see, but if I come up to a space on my WIPGO board that talks about spinning the wheel, that is what I will use. I also have a sewing WIPGO that I'll just mention from time to time what is involved with that. But here's my sewing WIPGO. Quilting, garments, bags, all of that is included on here. And then here is my cross stitch WIPGO. And you can see on here 6 and 10 are highlighted because those are the things that have already been called. And number 6 for me was Christmas stitching, more large stitching. So I'm going to do Chestnut and Gingerbread Cookies to satisfy that. And then this over here is 5 days on something I do not want to work on. Okay, so I've got a few things that qualify for that. That tea, stitch along, time for tea. The quilter, I might do a little back stitch or just do the face in another skin tone on that. But I'm not feeling those right now, so those qualify. So that's why I only put it for 5 days. I have some interesting things on here. One of them is to dye a fabric to use in my stitching. That's one of the things I have on here. Another one are just individual projects like the Flower Peddler, the Mystic Stitch. I've got it on there for a number of days. I've got a Christmas category. I've got a building category. I've got just spin the wheel categories. I love this one. I'm looking forward to it. Backstitch Blitz, number 9. That is, I'm just going to spend 7 days going through backstitching. So, Sweetheart, Quilter, Chestnut. I can start back stitching that one and just not wait till the end to do it. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Stitching Gingerbread. So I have a bunch of different categories. I'm trying not to make this fluid. I want it to stay this way. I saw this on the WIPGO Facebook page. A lady was going to do 100 stitches on all her WIPs. If I go with just what I showed you all today, that's 16 WIPs. I could probably do that. So I put that on here as well. And then my free space in the middle is a new start. The only thing on here that I'm not really completely prepared to do immediately would be my fancy lady. I still haven't decided which one I'm going to do. I have picked out one Bella Filipina, which is Cleopatra. I like that one still. And then the 2 or 3 Mirabilias that I want to do. Well, the one I really want to do is Rose of Sharon, but it is out of print. So if anybody ever gets a beat on that one, let me know. But the other 2 are Lady of the Mist and Sabrina, I think. And Needleberry Stitcher is working on that, and it's gorgeous. And so those are the 2 that I'm really considering buying. Or really those 3 I really want to buy. And then I'll decide which one will be the fancy lady for this. So I got work to do. I got to figure that out. So WIPGO is what I'm doing. Let me just pick up my notes so I can tell you the other things I'm going to do. 25/7 project every month. For these next 3 months, it's going to be my Vintage Baker because I'm also participating in the Stitch Talk Heaven and Earth Design 100-Day Challenge. There is a Stitch Talk Heaven and Earth Design Challenge page run by my girl Portia Parcher. And she has a bunch of different challenges on there. I picked this one because this is the one I'm most interested in doing. 100 days, every day, 50 stitches. So that combined with my 25/7 will be up until, I believe it's sometime in April that I'll be done with that. And then I'm also going to try and do Stitch Your Stash 2023. There's a Facebook page for that, started by Sweetwater Stitcher and the other lady, I forget her name, she's the Fanciful Flamingo. I think they're doing that. So I joined that Facebook page, and it's not a no buy challenge. It's more of a try to use up some of the stuff that you got. So that shouldn't be a problem for me. I got lots of stuff that I already have in stash. I want to do Christmas Stitch on the 25th. Jen Quilter on Instagram, and she is one of the 2 tall stitchers. They are doing a FFO challenge 2023. I'm going to try to remember to put all these hashtags on the screen for you all. That's right up my alley. Lord knows I need to FFO some things. I started some stuff this weekend, you all, so I will be able to share it in my next video. But Jen, she's so encouraging, so I was like, yeah, I'm with you, girl. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to get started on that. And then the last one is 12 in 23 ornament stitch along. That is on Instagram. I believe her name is Caroling55 on Instagram. You all, if you want to do Christmas ornaments and you want to see how to do it, go check out her Instagram, and I'll put it on the screen just in case I didn't say it right. Ooh, beautiful work. And she has done this challenge every year, just stitch 12 ornaments and fully finish them in the year. I can do that. So go check her out on Instagram. She also has a blog, and I will put that down below as well. But beautiful work, just amazing ornaments, and a wide variety, and many of them she gives away during the holidays to her friends. So she just does amazing work. So that is it, I think. Those are the things I'm participating in. And of course, if you're not familiar with WIPGO, Jessie Marie Does Stuff is who you need to see about WIPGO. Right, giveaway winners. Thank you all for your patience. This was from video number 8, and I have 3 winners that I want to share. The first one was this quilt pattern by Villa Rose. I love these. They're quick. They're only a few dollars, but they're very prolific designs, lots of them. And even though most of them are lap size, you can always expand them into bed size if you choose, which is mostly what I do. So this is Planters by Villa Rosa, and the winner for this is Vanessa Jones. Okay, for my giveaway, I asked you all to give me the keyword. For this one, it was quilt, and also guess my age. And I only had a couple people that guessed right. But Vanessa was very close. She guessed 48. I am 49. So, congrats, Vanessa. I'm going to comment on your comment in video number 8. And if you could contact me through my email, CoryCreates08@gmail.com, and let me know what you won and send me your address, and I will get this out to you. So that is the first giveaway. The second giveaway was for this fall project bag. And the winner for that, and yes, I made this one, the fall project bag. And the winner for this is Coffee Ness. Coffee like the drink, -NESS. So if you will give me a email as well, and I will get this out in the mail to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the last one was this Christmas project bag. And the winner of this one is Fairy Rose, which is her YouTube name. Her name is Dawn. So Fairy Rose on YouTube. She has a Flosstube, you all. Go check her out. I did see she's got a WIP parade and a few other videos. So go check her out. She guessed that I was in my mid-30s. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate you. But yeah, I am 49, you all. So I try to keep it together. But I've never been one to be upset about my age. I do tell my children, though, it's not polite to ask anybody their age, but I'm one of those people. I tell people it doesn't bother me. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all the giveaway winners. Next video, I know for sure I'm going to share with you my potential new starts for 2023. I would like to do 1 new start a month. I'm not going to do one in January because I just did 6 on December 31st. So that I'm good with that. I have lots of stuff that I still want to start. So I'm going to share the things that I think I've got almost ready to go that I want to do. I'm going to just share those next time. Hopefully I will have picked out my fancy lady by then. One thing I do need to purchase sometime before February is I need to figure out what fabric I'm using for Rosina Dissery. I want to start her for Black History Month. And I've had that pattern for almost a year. I'm ready to start it. I just need to find the perfect fabric. And yes, I want it to be perfect. That's what's taking me so long in getting it going. So purchasing some fabric for Rosina Dissery. I still have, and I've got a few that I already have. So what I need to do is do my floss pool and see if the ones that I already purchased at Needlework Galleria last year will work. I kind of want a hand-dyed fabric though, and nothing that I really purchased there was hand-dyed, so we will see. I'm planning to dye some fabric soon. I want to start that process of learning how to do that. I've pulled some old Ada that I have and things like that, so I want to practice that. And then I'm going to share some of the ornaments that I'm planning to do for the 12 and 23 ornament stitch along. And I will put the hashtag down there just in case you want to go over to Instagram and join that. So, thank you for spending some of your day with me today. This 3 weeks might be good for me. So I would like in 2023 to have more of a schedule. The rest of my life is very scheduled, but for some reason I can't get YouTube scheduled. But that's the nature of my life. So I'm gonna give that a try. I'm gonna try that in 2023. I hope you all stay with me on this journey. I would love to have those of you that have not subscribed to do so you can keep up with me. I hope you all have got your goals for the year written out. I usually don't finish those until the end of January. I almost feel like that with the holidays being so busy, I can't focus on goals. So that's what I'm working on in the other areas of my life. I might share a little bit of what I put on that in my next video. But hopefully you all's weather is cooperating. I think it's up to 60 today. But I think the bottom's going to fall out towards the end of the week. So wherever you are, I hope you are doing well. I hope 2023 has been kind so far and that it has big things in store for you. So thank you. Hopefully I didn't forget anything, but hit the bell, like, subscribe, go over to Instagram. CoryCreates 08 is my handle over there. One of these days, y'all, I'm gonna get a TikTok up. I got an account. I've got videos in the can. I'm terrible at editing for my TikTok. So maybe one day I'll get some of that going too. But just follow me wherever you can. And thank you so much. Oh, before I go, people I've been following. I told you I'd share that with you and I don't want to forget. So here we go. Actually, I'm just going to list their names over here on the side. Sable Stitchers, So-and-So's, Sarah's Stitchy Spot. If you haven't heard the theme song, go check it out. Her husband has done a bang-up job on that, and it represents her so well. Java Girl Stitches, her finishing. Chef's kiss on everything she finishes. Sunshine Stitchers, those are my girls. I love them. I've been following them for a long time, and they were a big part of me starting a Flosstube. Too Tall Stitchers, love them. Their banter back and forth. They are a pair. I enjoy their quilting and their cross stitch. Jen is like me. She don't have a lot of WIP. She gets it done, and I like that. Sweetwater Stitcher finishing, again, wonderful finishes. And just a nice, calm spirit. And I like how she presents herself. And then Annie, the proper stitcher. What can I say? She's a classy lady, and I like that. Lots of finishes as well. So those are the people that I was following in 2022. Maybe down below, tell me who you've discovered, who you're following. I'll let you know in my next video who are some of the new people that I found that I really enjoy and hope they keep going with their Flosstubes as well. So now that's it. Have a good week. Have a good month. Have a good year. And I will see you in the next video. Be blessed.